new album, talking about a tour. Feels good, right?
Well, I have just come from doing my solo album. I was just here in London, right before the end of the year, doing my solo tour. Um, it's interesting because it seems like I haven't stopped, so my chops are up. At the end of the last Bon Jovi tour, you know, 18 months, 52 countries. I took 2 weeks off and I started writing my solo album, Aftermath of the Lowdown, and recorded that. And somewhere in the middle of that, John and I started to write. And somewhere I found a place to actually record that record and also do a solo tour, which brought me up to speed right about over here.
So why are you not asleep right now? What's going on?
No, it's good, man. I tell you what, I still really have a lot of gratitude to have my job. I think everybody would like my job, but I got it and I'm holding on to it with everything I have. So I literally, every time I walk out on stage, I don't care. Every time you walk out on stage in front of 50, 60,000 people, it always hits me the same. I go, again for me? I just get, so I'm looking forward to it. That's it.
Okay, I guess the day you walk out and you don't think that is the day you question sort of what
I guess you really have to be a butthead, I think if you felt that way, if you didn't really have the gratitude for that situation, you get to do what you love to do for a living and have people receive you with all that love and then, get paid handsomely for it actually, so.
Win-win. Perfect.
Yeah, it's on top of it all, I'd do it for free actually, probably.
Oh, okay, let's work that out. So let's talk about the album first of all. How does that work? Because like you say, you're just solo stuff you were doing, keeping you nice and busy there. So you and John get together, you're batting some ideas around, and then this album develops. What would you say were the kind of themes of this album?
Well, I think what happens is that the things that happen in the world for us personally, for me, I know, traveling around the world, you're always feeling the undercurrents of what's happening to people, how they're feeling about what's happening in politics, what's happening with the economies of the world. I know myself on the last tour, traveling through Athens and traveling through Spain and Italy where we're having problems. There's a certain feeling that the people have. And there's a certain feeling of transference that you have. And then you go back to America and there's a lot of the same stuff. And growing up in a blue collar family, and having my dad losing his job and the family toiling to make ends meet at different times in my life. I guess you can attach yourself onto that. And so a lot of these stories, I think, were born, and these babies were kind of pushed out of the things that are happening actually in the world, And as you become a grown-up songwriter, I think you're almost, you're going to write about that kind of stuff. And that's what's going to come out. But for us, it's in a very, very human way. It's in a very personal way. How maybe, that couple that's next door to you, how are they feeling about it? Or the people that come to see you in concert. You kind of put yourself in that kind of position and you kind of be right from a place of the observer, I think,
It was interesting with you guys performing with the boss, with Mr. Springsteen, as you've done a few times, and you were there doing it at the Hurricane Sandy event. Because obviously he's a guy who brought out Wrecking Ball last year. Again, a very sort of relevant to the times, politically charged and stuff. And people often make the comparisons, obviously, from the same place and things like that. Would you see, not follow Bruce exactly, but a similar sort of path in terms of where you're from, the things you're commenting on, and also about how he's developed and matured as a songwriter like you guys are?
Yeah, I think it just happens naturally. I think it's just growing up. And also, I think the reason that we're still around is that, our audience grows with us. So, and we're writing about them, essentially. That's, as a songwriter, I think the essence of songwriting is communication. You're trying to communicate, or you're trying to reach out and find some common ground with who's listening to the song. And if they get it, then it becomes the fabric and the soundtrack to their lives, which for me, many songs and many artists become the soundtrack of my life. And today it still continues. It never stops, hopefully. If you're a music lover and an avid music listener, you're always going to get hit in the heart by someone that says, man, I feel like that, or that feels like me, or that kind of thing. So when a songwriter and an artist be able to hit that kind of plateau, It's a fantastic thing. It's a privilege, really.
What I wonder with you guys having written so many